And you are watching Pustak Verma Education for All YouTube channel. And today we are going to discuss about an article or the chapter Qin Dynasty by Gabriel Peralta from Unit 4 History and Culture, Grade 11 Compulsory English New Course and Grammatical Sections Correct Form of Verbs, including all the exercises of this chapter. So before dealing with this chapter is history and culture, Qin Dynasty, we will discuss about the questions mentioned in our textbooks. So question A, what do you see in the picture? तपाईले पिक्चरमा के देख्नुहुन्छ अथवा के देख्नु भएको छ? पहिलो छ we see the great wall of China in the picture. यो पिक्चरमा हामीले के पाउँछौं त? Great wall of China देखेका छौं. When was the structure built? And the structure of the Great Wall of China was built from 7th to century BC by Chu state and lasted till 1878 in the Qin Dynasty. Who made this? Around 220 BCE, Qin Dynasty, Qin Shi Huang, also called the first emperor, built this. Qin Shi Huangdi, the founder of Qin Dynasty, ordered to remove a number of walls existing along with the northern border and to join a single wall to protect the China against attack from the north around BCE. There is a proverb by Confucius: "The greatest glory is not never falling, but rising every time we fall." It is the saying of Confucius that is presented in our textbooks. Okay, then about the chapter main points of the this article, the Qin Dynasty by Gabriel Peralta. So under this chapter, we come to know about Qin Dynasty. Qin Dynasty has short duration 221-206 BCE, but very significant in Chinese history. यो duration के छ सानो भए तापनि यो के छ त एकदमै significant छ. It followed the Zhou dynasty. Zhou dynasty follow गरेर आएको थियो is and it ended when Liu Bang became the king of Han in 206 BC, the formal beginning of Han Dynasty. हामीले के बुझ्नु पर्यो किन डाइनेस्टी भन्दा अगाडि चाइनामा के थियो त हाम्रो जौ डाइनेस्टी थियो. अब जौ डाइनेस्टी पछि किन डाइनेस्टी आयो र किन डाइनेस्टी पछि हान डाइनेस्टी के भयो त आयो. यस when the king of Han is जो के भयो त राजा भयो. The name अर्को हामीले के भन्छौं the name this China. The word China has been derived from the name Qin. किनबाट यसलाई निकालिएको हो जसलाई also Chin भन्ने गरिन्थ्यो. किनलाई चिन पनि भन्ने गरिन्छ र त्यसरी it came to known as this is China. China was involved in a endless conflict. एकदमै धेरै द्वन्द्वमा यो के गर्यो पार्टिसिपेट गर्यो with various regions for supreme control of the country known as warring state period. चाइनामा यो वारिङ स्टेट पिरियड भनेको यति बेला चाइना के थियो इनस्टेबिलिटी थियो कन्फ्लिक्टले चलिरहेको थियो. कन्फ्लिक्ट द्वन्द्व बिचमा धेरै थियो जुन पिरियडलाई हामीले वारिङ स्टेट्स पिरियड भनेको 426 देखि 221 BC सम्म हामीले वारिङ स्टेट पिरियड यसलाई लिने गर्छौं. A series of victories by Qin Empire ended the Warring State period, resulting their complete conquest of China in 221 BC and unified China for the first time in its history. चाइना के गरियो युनिफाइड कतिमा भयो त 221 BC मा चाइना के भयो युनिफाइड भयो. Origin of the Qin kingdom. Qin kingdom को उत्पत्ति कसरी भयो? During the Zhou dynasty, China was never unified a kingdom. Zhou dynasty वंशको बेलामा चाइना युनिफाइड किङडम थिएन. Rather it practiced feudalism. सामन्तीवाद त्यहाँ थियो in the medieval Europe known as feudal age पनि भन्ने गरिन्थ्यो. Around 771 BC, a barbarian invasion भनेको अटेक आक्रमण drove the Zhou rulers eastward and at the same time Qin occupied the original Zhou domains. त्यतिखेर के गरे बार्बरियन इन्भेजनबाट आक्रमणबाट जौहरू इस्टतिर लागे र त्यतिखेर ओरिजिनल जो रिजन थियो जो डोमेनको त्यसलाई किन डाइनेस्टीले अकुपाइड गर्यो. व्हिच फ्लोरिस्ड देयर म्यारिज रिलेसन. तिनीहरूले आफ्नो वैवाहिक सम्बन्धहरू पनि बढाए एन्ड ह्युज स्टेट अफ द चिफ अफ किन अ पिभिटल इभेन्ट फर किन इम्पायर जसले गर्यो फेभरेबल लोकेसन पनि भइहाल्यो The state of Qin and Chu were the two strongest state being able to command vast resources. के भयो त यिनीहरू दुईटा एउटा किन र चु दुईटा यो के थिए त त्यतिखेरका फर्मुला एकदमै फेमिलियर एकदमै के थिए त पपुलर स्टेट्सहरू थिए भने चाहिँ किन आर्मी एन्ड देयर रुथलेस इन ब्याटल किन आर्मीहरू जो थिए उनीहरू लडाईँमा एकदमै निर्दयी हुन्थे रुथलेस हुन्थे मार्ने काट्ने काम बढी गर्थे त्यसकारण अरू जो ब्याटल युद्धका अरू अपोजिट पक्ष हुन्थे उनीहरू डराउँथे र यिनीहरूलाई युद्ध जित्नमा सजिलो हुन्थ्यो Ying Zheng, king of the Qin, emerged victorious from the warring state period and proclaimed himself सी वाङडी र उनकै नाम के गरियो त सी वाङडी भयो जसको नाम के थियो इङ जेङ किङ पहिला थिए उनको नाम उनी आफूलाई के गरे त सी वाङडी बनाए and he was the first emperor of China in 2002 21 BC unified one third of all the land under cultivation and one third of total population of China पनि इनले के गरे युनिफाइड गरे अचिभमेन्ट अब हामीले किन डाइनेस्टीको अचिभमेन्टहरू के थियो प्र्याक्टिस अफ लिगलिजम त्यतिखेर प्र्याक्टिस थियो फार्मर्स वेयर फ्रीड फ्रम द सर्फडम किसानहरूलाई दासबाट मुक्त गरिए थियो सी वाङडी रेड्युस द पावर अफ अटोक्रेसी यसलाई के गरे थिए कम गरेका थिए जो अटोक्रेसी एक किसिमको एकतन्त्र राजतन्त्रको जो पावर थियो त्यसलाई कम गरेका थिए पिपल बोर कलेक्टिभ रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटी मान्छेहरू ग्रुपमा काम गर्न मन पराउँथे फियर एन्ड कन्ट्रोल यो यिनीहरूको की फिचर्स थियो जब मान्छेलाई डरमा राख्छौँ अनि मान्छे के हुन्छ कन्ट्रोल गर्न सजिलो हुन्छ एन्ड यो एउटा की फिचर्स अफ पोलिटिकल सिस्टम थियो those who contributed the most states were highly rewarded जसले सहयोग गर्थ्यो त्यसलाई रिवार्ड गरिन्थ्यो जसले सहयोग गर्दैनथ्यो उसलाई के गरिन्थ्यो त पनिशमेन्ट दिन्थ्यो बिल्डिङ प्रोजेक्ट र जो मान्छेहरूले काम गर्दैनथे क्राइम गर्थे क्राइम गर्ने मान्छेहरूलाई उनीहरूले के गर्थे त प्रोजेक्ट अफ ग्रेट वाल अफ चाइनामा बढी भन्दा बढी कामदारको रूपमा काम गर्न लगाइन्थ्यो द ग्रेन्ड क्यानल एन्ड द रोड्स जब मान्छेले कुनै किसिमको क्रिमिनल एक्टिभिटिजहरू गर्थ्यो तिनीहरूलाई सजायको सट्टामा बढी भन्दा बढी 2 आवर्स 4 आवर्स 10 आवर्सको काम गर्न लगाइन्थ्यो गभर्नमेन्ट अफिसल्सहरूको अथवा गभर्नमेन्ट प्रोजेक्टमा काम गर्न लगाइने गरिन्थ्यो Networks of road connected to the capital and canals connected rivers irrigation system यो पनि एउटा के थियो त development of this achievements of this Qin dynasty legalism suppressed the scholarship उनीहरूको विचार एउटा अर्को के थियो त एजुकेसन बढी दियौं भने मान्छे के हुन्छ दबाउन गाह्रो हुन्छ सप्रेसन गर्न गाह्रो हुन्छ त्यसकारण उनीहरूले डिनाइड लिटरेसी शिक्षाहरू दिने काम गर्दैनथे थिंकिङ दैट uneducated people were easy to control जो पढे लेखेका मान्छे हुन्छन् तिनलाई कन्ट्रोल गर्न सजिलो हुन्छ एन्ड बर्निङ ओभर द बुक्स अन अ लार्ज स्केल धेरै किताबहरू चलाइदिएका थिए Though legalism was hated by the many, it helped to create superior army and a disciplined bureaucracy and obedient populace and unquestioned authority of a strong central government and is still maintained in some of the form today. यसले के गर्यो देश रुल गर्नमा देशमा कन्ट्रोल गर्नमा देशलाई डिसिप्लिनमा राख्नमा यो तिम्रो लिगलिजमले के गर्थ्यो सहयोग गरेको थियो द हर्स लिगलिजम एकदम खरो खालको लिगलिजम त्यहाँ लागू भएको थियो वाज ग्लोस्ड ओभर अ डिफरेन्ट टाइम एन्ड क्वाइट अफन कन्फ्युसियनिजम जसलाई हामीले पछितिर कन्फ्युसियनिजम जुन अलिकति माइल्ड क्याटेगोरिजको लिगलिजम आयो यस द इन्ड अफ किन इम्पायर किन इम्पायर अन्त्य कसरी भयो त द इम्पेयर सी वाङडी डाइड इन द इयर 2210 BC 210 BC मा सी वाङडी डाइड भयो विथ कन्स्टेन्ट फियर अफ एसासिनेसन उनलाई डर के थियो कि उनलाई कसैले मृत्युदण्ड दिइदिन्छ झुन्ड्याइदिन्छ भन्ने डरले उनी आफै मरे भन्छ बट द कज अफ हिज डेथ इज स्टिल अननोन तर उसको मृत्युको कारण अहिले पनि अननोन छ लिस्यू द देन प्राइम मिनिस्टर प्लेस्ड हु हाई लिस्यू जो त्यतिखेरका प्राइम मिनिस्टर थिए त्यसले हु हाई द विक सन अफ सी वाङडीको कमजोर छोरा जो थिए हु हाई उनलाई के गरे त राजा बनाए अन द थ्रोन एन्ड बट पिपल ग्रिउ चाइना ग्रिउ बोल्डर एन्ड रिभोल्ट स्टार्टेड जब राजा कमजोर हुन्छ when the king was poor अथवा weak then they started their revolt and which became as bolder as well and strong as well in the country through a series of uprising and rebel alliances उनीहरूको समूह ग्रुपहरू बढ्दै गएर किन अथोरिटी वाज ओभरथ्रोन इन द इयर 2006 यसरी किन अथोरिटीलाई किन पावरलाई 2206 BC मा हटाइयो इन द क्यापिटल अफ ज्याङयाङ यस ज्याङयाङ लिउ ब्याङ इमर्ज एज भिक्टोरियस एन्ड फाउन्डेड ह्यान डाइनेस्टी त्यसपछि त्यतिखेरका राजा ह्यान डाइनेस्टी आयो अर्को यस किन डाइनेस्टी पछि हान डाइनेस्टी आयो र यसका राजा के भए लिउ भ्याङ भइहाले Legacy of Qin Dynasty यसको legacy के थियो त legalism had a long lasting effect on the entirely Chinese history and its policies को नीतिहरू के थियो त legalism practice गरेको थियो Qin Dynasty left a wonder of the ancient artwork कलाको क्षेत्रमा पनि यसले ठूलो योगदान गरेको थियो the terracotta army in Jian this tomb reflect the character of Chinese emperor and his unyielding desire to be immortal जो टेराकोटा आर्मीको एउटा जो ऊ बनाइएको छ प्लेस बनाइएको छ त्यसले के देखाउँछ त त्यतिखेरको चाइनिज इम्पियर के थिए त एकदमै पावरफुल थिए द मोस्ट फेमस लिगेसी अफ किन इज दैट द ग्रेट वाल अफ चाइना त्यसको सबैभन्दा ठूलो डेभलपमेन्ट एउटा अचिभमेन्ट ग्रेट वाल अफ चाइना थियो अल्दो द प्रेजेन्ट स्ट्रक्चर डजन्ट date from the Qin dynasty it was begun under the Xi Huangdi as the Grand Canal and the road which today links the cities of China and country sites when it says then about feudalism अब यो सामन्तवाद भनेको के हो a form of government ल्यान्डोइङ नोबेल्स ह्याड पावर जो नोबेल मान्छेहरू थिए तिनीहरूको पावर तिनीहरू पावरमा हुन्थे बेस्ड अन लोयल्टी एन्ड अथ्स लोयल्टी भद्रता र अथ्स माथि पनि कसममाथि यो बेस्ड थियो क्रिएटेड क्लास सिस्टम र यसमा पनि क्लास सिस्टम यसरी फोरवटा क्लासेसहरू आयो काम गर्ने भइहाल्यो क्षेत्रीय भइहाल्यो नोबेल्टी भइहाल्यो अनि के भइहाल्यो रुलर्स भइहाल्यो यसरी भनिन्छ Then Confucianism, यो पनि एउटा के थियो त important term used in this chapter. The political morality taught by Confucius and his disciples, which form the basis of Chinese jurisprudence and education. It can hardly be called the religion as it doesn't indicate the worship of any god. यिनी कन्फ्युसियस थिए इनको जो फिलोसोफीज आयो जस्ट what we call Confucianism. Legalism in a legalist government, a ruler focused on making his state strong by using a system of harsh punishment and rewards regulated through law and strict enforcement. Legalist rulers believed that this would guarantee the good behavior by instilling fear in his people. Then about ways with or words यो हाम्रो टेक्स्टमा दिएको छ अब यसलाई म्याच गरेर हामीले राख्ने हो The first one is brevity. Brevity भनेको छोटो short भन्छ. We can match this brevity with यहाँ तल आन्सर दिएको छ V नम्बरसम्म. V मा के दिएको छ lasting for a long short time छोटो समयको लागि अर्को छ conquest भनेको victory विजय. B नम्बरको म्याच छ 7 सँग. B को 7 छ victory over a place or people by using military force. Third one resemblance उस्ता उस्तै alike भन्छौं. C को छ A सँग state of being alike यो state of being alike भइहाल्यो देन छ क्वेशन नम्बर D barbarian एउटा inhuman behaviors जसलाई हामीले भन्छौं D को सेकेन्ड सँग a member of uncivilized society group of people अर्को नेक्स्ट आयो ally भनेको group this F sorry E is X सँग one state united another by treaty or league for the military purpose. Next one nobility. Nobility भनेको सबै एकदमै भद्र तरिकाको F रुलर्सहरु. F can be matched with 3. State being noble in character. Next one ruthlessness. एकदमै निर्दयी कुराहरु G भनेछ GIX सँग character of having no pity or compassion. Decimation H लाई VII सँग killing or destruction of large number of people. Harsh भनेको खरो एकदमै I लाई IV सँग VI सँग cruel भइहाल्यो harsh is matched with this is cruel and this last one elixir J with IV liquid that believed to cure all यसलाई अमृत पनि भन्ने गर्छौं so this is about the match the following find the following words in the text use them in the sentences about your own invasion akraman attack terrorist invasion had great impact in the nation disregard to ignore something कुनै पनि चीजलाई इग्नोर गर्नु ध्यान नदिनु the government disregard for the needs of the disabled people is outrageous then paramount supreme chief his happiness was the was of paramount importance populace inhabitants basinda after the royal wedding the excited populace followed the newlyweds carriage rebel the peasants revolt was crushed by the government assassination murder hanged he was in constant fear of assassination and distrusted everyone in the palace. Serfdom, slave, das. Serfdom was abolished in the documents in 1819 AD. देन अबाउट स्टडी द फलोइङ होमोग्राफ्स होमोग्राफ्स पढ्ने बेलामा यहाँ के गर्ने हामीले साउन्डहरू के गर्ने स्ट्रेस कहाँ लागेछ त्यो हेर्ने एड्रेस अगाडि यसमा स्ट्रेस अमा हुन्छ एड्रेस भने अनि यसको मिनिङ द लोकेसन अफ हाउस एड्रेस भन्छ यो भनेको पछाडि सेकेन्ड सिलेबसमा छ टु स्पिक ग्रुप अफ पिपल डिक्रिज भनेको डी सुरुमा हामीले साउन्ड दिने रिडक्सन इन द अमाउन्ट अफ समथिङ डिक्रिज भनेको टु मिन्स टु बिकम स्मलर इन अमाउन्ट प्रिजेन्ट भनेको गिफ्ट प्रिजेन्ट यो भनेको गिफ्ट समथिङ फर्मली प्रोटेस्ट प्रोमा जोड दिने अब्जेक्सन टु समथिङ प्रोटेस्ट टु च्यालेन्ज रिकार्ड द रिटर्न account of information record to keep stored information thus homographs अथवा homophones भनेको के हो are the words with different pronunciations and different meanings but same spelling तर उनीहरुको स्पेलिङ सेम हुन्छ मिनिङ फरक हुन्छ अनि त्यसको के हुन्छ pronunciation पनि फरक हुन्छ भने त्यसलाई हामीले homographs भन्छौं however the words here have a change in the word stress often causing the vowel sound त्यस्तै अर्को हामीले एक्जाम्पलको रूपमा we can take this as well consult the dictionary and prepare a list of 10 homographs so हामीले फर्स्ट भन्न सक्छौं यहाँ दिएको छ साइन 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 भनेको साइन अफ स्ट्रेस हेडेक मे बी द साइन अफ स्ट्रेस साइन द चेक फार्म कडा फार्म भने चाहिँ अ फार्म अफ अकाउन्टेन्ट भनेको कम्पनी अर्को फार्म भनेको स्टील फार्म कडा छ टाई टाई भने छ दुईटा दिएको छ टाई भनेको जुड्नु टाई देयर ह्यान्ड्स एन्ड टाई भनेको घाँटीमा लगाउनु दिस इज फ्लाई फ्लाई वाज बचिङ अगेन्स्ट द विन्डो फ्लाई भनेको झिंगा अर्को फ्लाई लेट्स फ्लाई या क्याट उडाउने वाच आई लाइक वाचिङ टिभी यो भइहाल्यो आई ग्लेन्स्ड एट माई वाच वाच भनेको घडी भइहाल्यो टियर च्यात्नु इज आई विल टियर द प्याकेज ओपन टियर टियर भनेको लेट्स लेफ्ट सी लेफ्ट द रूम इन टियर्स उनी रुनु भनेर यो यहाँ दिएको छ तपाईहरुको यसको सोर्स भनेको esl.com हामीले गुगलमा गएर पनि यस्तो फिगरहरु पाउन सक्छौं नेक्स्ट अ ग्याप with wide with mouth open love brass a type of fish low deep voice bat a piece of sport equipment animals bow a type of knot to incline a down a lower space lower place a soft fluff of bird entrance the way in to daylight evening shooting out after sunset common homographs okay then about the comprehension complete the table with the correct information from the text Qin Dynasty period 221 to 206 BC, Zhou Dynasty period 1014 to 256 BC, Warring State period 426 देखि 221 BC, Unification of China by the Qin 221 BC, First Emperor of Qin Dynasty Shi Huangdi, Death of Shi Huangdi 210 BC, Liu Bang period 247 to 195 BC. Then about answer the following questions. Why is the Zhou age called not double is a feudal age. The Zhou is called a feudal age because it bore a strong resemblance to some sort of form of feudalism. किनकि यसमा feudalism का गुणहरू पाइन्छन् त्यसकारणले हामीले feudal age भन्ने गर्छौं. What is the location advantage of Qin? The location advantage of Qin means it was safe enough from the invasion as guarded by the mountains and gorge in the east. खाडीहरूले र पहाडले यो कभर गरेको चारैतिरबाट घेरिएको थियो. What contributed to the success in the warfare as described in the war? यिनीहरूको किन आर्मीहरू के थिए एक्सपर्ट थिए उनको साइज लार्ज इन नम्बर उनको च्यारियट्स उनको इस वारफेयर उनीको रुथलेस बिहेभियर त्यसले के गर्यो त दे गट सक्सिड Why did the king invite the foreign advisor Xiangyang? उनले फरेन एडभाइजरलाई इन्भाइट गरे to renovate the policies of government. What were the key features of the Qin political system? Fear and control. Basically, these two were the key features of the Qin political system. How were the people treated during the Qin period? People who contributed to the states were highly rewarded. Others were sent to work on the Shi Huangdi's building project, like Great Wall of China. Why did Shi Huangdi stop educating ordinary people? Because they thought that stopped educating ordinary people because they believed that uneducated people were easier to control. What did the Qin achieve by legalism in practice? Through legalism, they achieved efficiency and strength of the state. Why did Shivangdi never sleep in the same room for 2 consecutive nights? Shivangdi never sleep in the same room for 2 consecutive nights because of the constant fear of assassination. उनलाई डर थियो कि कसैले उनलाई मारिदिन्छ. What were the everlasting mark of the Qin Dynasty? Everlasting mark of Qin Dynasty के थिए? Legalistic policies and the Great Wall of China. These were the two everlasting marks of Qin Dynasty का अहिले जो development सङ्केतहरू थिए. Critical thinking. Okay, about critical thinking, the question was the Great Wall of China, Great Wall and the Taj Mahal are the creation of autocratic rulers. एउटा सामन्ती रुलर्सहरूले यस्तो Great Wall of China र Taj Mahal बनाएका छन्. Present your view for or against this statement. Obviously, the Great Wall and the Taj Mahal are the creation of autocratic rulers because such grand constructions are not impossibility by common men. राम्रो साधारण मान्छेले बनाउन सक्दैनन् as the huge number of laborers as the huge number of laborers and vast amount of raw materials and a large span of time to be constructed, which is beyond the thought of common citizen. सर्वसाधारण मान्छेले यस्तो काम गर्न सक्दैन. The construction of wall started during the Qin Dynasty at 221 BCE. Emperor Qin Shi Huangdi aimed at protecting China from the invaders who regularly attacked Chinese farming villages. The wall started deteriorating with the passage of time because of natural disasters, strong winds, dust and storms. It was constructed again in 15th century by the Emperor Meng Ten. Many people died during the constructions of the wall, and people who constructed the wall were treated inhumanly and were not even allowed to take rest during the construction of the wall. उनीहरूलाई पनि रेस्ट गर्ने पर्मिसन दिँदैन थियो. इट इज सेड दैट देयर बडीज वेयर सील्ड इनसाइड द ग्रेट वाल अफ चाइना. जो मर्थे, जो विरोधमा जान्थे, तिनीहरूको डेड बडीलाई त्यही ग्रेट वाल चाइनामा सिल्ड गरिएको थियो. द रिनोन्ड Taj Mahal was brought to life by the vision of Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan. He got this monument built for his beloved wife Mumtaz. उनले आफ्नो यस ताजमहल आफ्नो beloved प्रेमिका जो आफ्नो वाइफ थिइन् मुमताजको लागि बनाएको थिए. यसलाई मुमताज महल पनि भन्ने गर्छौँ हामीले. After she passed away to honor the memory of his loving wife, Shah Jahan ordered the finest artisans from all over the world. संसारभरिका finest techniciansहरूलाई उनले बोलाए and he wanted to make something that had never been done before. कहिले संसारमा नबनेको चिज बनाउन चाहन्थे. The emperor wished to give last gift to his wife whom he loved very much, and this began constructing in 1630 and it finally got completed in the time span of 20 years. Shah Jahan rejected numerous designs before finally settling on the present structure of Taj Mahal. धेरै मान्छेहरूले आफ्नो आफ्नो डिजाइन ल्याएको थिए, त्यसलाई रिजेक्ट गर्दा गर्दा लास्टमा उनी यस्तो डिजाइनमा गर्दा. Wall of the monuments were engraved with quite expensive stones. Above all, such grand constructions are beyond the imagination of the common citizens of the world. So this is the Great Wall of China and this is Taj Mahal made by these autocratic rulers during the ancient times. How do you describe the pros and cons of feudalism? सामन्तीवादको प्रोज र कोन्सहरू डिस्क्राइब गर भनेर भन्छ. अब यो प्रोज भनेको बेनिफिट, एडभान्टेजेस, मेरिट्स, कोन्स भनेको डिमेरिट्स, डिसएडभान्टेजेस अफ feudalism. Feudalism is a system of government which is divided into different ruling regions with a noble rulers and its ruling entity. यसको फाइदाहरू के छन्? Very self-sufficient system of governing provided a system of coexistence. It allowed for simplistic chain of command, land management path, incredibly easy. Cons भनेको demerits के छ त? It was easy to abuse the power given. It makes life very difficult for working class. One bad reason could end everything, and it was very isolated existence. Suspicion was everywhere, and freedom that were obtained from were very rarely free. The pros and cons of feudalism make it difficult to say whether it is beneficial or detrimental system of ruling. Much dependent on how it was implemented and what the ethics of the nobility happened to be. Eventually, people wanted something more valuable than the land of their services, and this is what causes feudalism breakdown. So this was the pyramid of feudalism. माथि सबैभन्दा के हुन्थे? किङहरू हुन्थे, त्यसपछि नोबलहरू, त्यसका शासकहरू हुन्थे, त्यसपछि नाइट्सहरू, क्षत्रियहरू, अनि सबैभन्दा तल किसानहरू हुन्थे. Write an email to your friend living abroad stating the contribution of Prithviraj Shah in the unification of Nepal. So while writing email we have to mention the format of email. यसमा हामीले के गर्ने पहिला फर्म लेखिहाल्ने, एउटा इमेल एड्रेस लेख्ने, टु लेख्ने, इमेल एड्रेस लेख्ने, डेट कहिले लेखिरहेका छौ, सब्जेक्ट के को बारेमा छ, अबाउट द कन्ट्रिब्युसन अफ पृथ्वीनारायण शाह. Hi Alice, how are you? I hope you are well. You have asked about the contribution of PN Shah. I am going to mention about his contributions for unification of Nepal. PN Shah was a man born in a royal family and he was the king who fought battles and unified many small states into Gorkha. He did many contributions for the sake of the country and its people. Some of them are as follows. PN Shah basically created modern Nepal. He has efficient diplomatic concerns to negotiate with people, king and other states, had victory over Kirtipur after 3 attempts. For him, political motives and responsibility as a king was even greater than his religious belief. His Dibya Upadesh is still popular for it is popular saying, well, that's all for now. I hope hear from you soon. Your friend Sunita Sapkota. And Hinvaz Prithviraj Shah is. And this was the greater Nepal's. अहिले हामी यो नेपाल यति नै साइजमा बसिरहेका छौँ. नेपालको साइज यहाँसम्म यो देखिएको येलो कलरको दिस साइड अल्सो and our Nepal was great in size. The table shows the major political movement in the Nepal after end of the Rana regime. Right, a paragraph of each with their contribution in the landscapes of Nepal. Yes, political movement. The first one, establishment of democracy, 1951. First general election, 1959. Dismissal of elected government, 1960s. National referendum, 1980s. People's movement first, 1996, 90s. People's movement second, 2006. Talking about establishment of democracy in 1951. On 18 February 1951, King Tirbon announced Nepal's first step to democracy with the historical proclamation. One of his key ideas of democratic government is in its commitment to equality and justice. Main कुरा उनीले केमा फोकस गरेको थिए त equality and justice. Equality and justice are inseparable, and a period of economic disputes with India and mounting repression in Nepal led the Jan Andolan popular movement, resulting into the re-establishment of multi-party democracy under the constitutional monarchy framework. Second, first general elections 1959. General elections were held in Nepal from 18 February to 3rd April 1959 to elect the 109 यतिजना मेम्बर्सहरू थिए पार्लियामेन्टका members of the first house of representative and the lower house of the parliament of Nepal. More than 4.25 million people out of an overall population about 8.55 million were eligible to vote. यति total population थियो 4.25 million population were eligible to vote. Voters turnout was 42.18% and the result was victory for the Nepali Congress, winning 74 seats of 109 seats with 38% of the votes. BP Koirala became the first democratically elected and the 22nd Prime Minister of Nepal. Dismissal of elected government पछि यो बीपी कोइरालाको जो गभर्नमेन्ट थियो यसलाई किङ महेन्द्रले डिसमिसल गरे. On 15 December 1960, the then King Mahendra suspended the constitution, dissolved the elected parliament and dismissal of the cabinet, imposed direct rule and imprisoned the then Prime Minister BP Koirala and his closest government colleagues into the jail. तिनलाई के गरे जेलमा राखे. नेशनल रेफरेन्डम यसलाई हामीले के भन्छौँ जनमत संग्रह भन्छौँ र यो 36 मा भएको थियो. 37 मा यसको इलेक्सनको रिजल्ट पनि आएको थियो. This the referendum a referendum on the system of government was held in Nepal on 2 May 1980. Voters were offered the choice between a non-partisan panchayat system and a multi-party system. The panchayat system received slim majority of 54.99%, where multi-party systems only received 45.2% of the total votes. Voters turnout was 66.9% votes खटेको थियो. A referendum is a direct vote by electorate on the particular proposal and issue. यो रेफरेन्डम जनमत संग्रह भनेको दुईवटा अथवा तीनवटा इस्युमा मोर देन टु इस्युजहरुमा के हुन्छ इलेक्सन हुन्छ र यसले गभर्नमेन्ट बनाउँदैन यसले के गर्छ एउटा पार्टिकुलर इस्यु सेलेक्ट गरेर गर्ने गरिन्छ देन अबाउट पिपल्स मुभमेन्ट 1990 भनेको 46 को जनआन्दोलन भन्छ यस अ मल्टी पार्टी मुभमेन्ट इन नेपाल वाज हेल्ड इज to end the absolute monarchy and beginning of the constitutional monarchy. One result of this unity was the formation of the Communist Party of Nepal. यसैबाट formation भयो and it resulted the restoration of multi-party democracy as well, which took place in 246 BS. People's Movement 2006 भनेको यो जनआन्दोलन 2062-63 भन्छौँ हामीले April 2006 movement in Nepal aimed at removing the monarchy system and establishing the popularly elected government. The interim constitution of Nepal 2063 BS was promulgated on 1st March 2063 BS. First meeting of the assembly declared Nepal as a republic. यसलाई नेपाललाई गणतन्त्र एउटा के गरियो घोषणा गरियो abolishing the monarchy on 15th June 2065 PS. So then about the grammar, position of verbs. Read this paragraph and classify regular or irregular verb. तपाईहरुले के बुझ्नु पर्यो रेगुलर verb के हो र irregular verb के हो भनेर जस्तो हामीले रेगुलर verb भनेको कन्टिन्युअस त्यसैमा मिल्दै गएको भयो भने त्यो रेगुलर verb भइहाल्यो नगएपछि त्यो irregular verb त्यसको बारेमा we will discuss later पहिला यो हेर्छौं about 71 BC a barbarian invasion के युज गरिएको छ drove the Zhou rulers eastward during this time the state of Qin became responsible for the guarding the western frontier and they gradually moved eastward and eventually occupied the original Zhou domains. Thus the Qin becomes the close ally of the Zhou and they had marriage relation and Zhou ruling classes King Pingzhou transferred titles of the nobility huge state to the chief of Qin. Past simple is used to talk about a single action or series of actions that happened in the past. So these front positions are यो अगाडितिरको हाम्रो यतादेखि यतातिरको जो यिनीहरू भर्ब रहेका छन् यिनीहरू रेगुलर भर्ब हुन् अनि यिनीहरू इरेगुलर हुन् accept 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 accepted accepted same same आएको छ be was being sorry यो been हो यस be was been यदि हाम्रो भर्बको फर्महरुमा चेन्ज गर्दाखेरि चेन्जेस आइरहेको छ भने त्यसलाई हामीले के भन्छौं इरेगुलर भर्ब भन्ने गर्छौं यस त्यसपछि complete the text below using the correct form of verbs. Correct form of verb basically verb to use गर्ने गरिन्छ. The Maya established very advanced civilizations in the jungle of Yucatan. However, their cultures disappear by the time Europeans first arrive in the New World. त हामीले यहाँ के गर्ने disappear लाई disappeared लेखे पनि भइहाल्यो but better to write had disappeared. यो disappeared भइसकेको थियो जब यिनीहरू Europeans first arrived गर्ने arrived in the new world भने चाहिँ when I turn on the radio yesterday I hear a song that was popular when I be the basic level of my study it take me back to some old memories यस्तो दिएको छ त फर्स्ट हामीले when I turned गर्यौं change turn into turned answer यहाँ दिएको छ हेर and then here change into heard and this take change into took. I was looking for a job. I applied for the job last week. Fortunately, I get it and now I am a good job holder. भनेको I applied. Past tense मा छ I applied for a job. Fortunately, I got it and now I am a good job holder. Then about question C. Choose the correct word from the list and complete the sentences with correct verb form. So teach, write, see, get up, throw and cost. So these are the verbs given in the box and हामीले के गर्ने यी verbहरुको past tense use गर्ने हो basically. न्यूटन अब न्यूटनले के गरे यहाँ दिएको छ सी देखे के देखे त an apple. न्यूटन saw an apple falling from the tree. रमेश विकल wrote many popular stories. हामीले यसको past गर्दिएछौं right को wrote गरेछौं. My jacket is expensive. It cost me Rs 5000. Cost को cost नै हुन्छ past पनि same. She got up early in the morning yesterday when I was small. My father taught me at home. When did you? यो त के भइहाल्यो verb one चाहियो did मा दिएको छ question मा दिएको छ. Thus throw लाई के गर्ने throw नै लेख्ने. When did you throw the cap away? So this is about the question C. Then about question D. D मा कुरा गर्छौं put the verbs into correct form and Complete the sentences. अब यहाँ ब्रेकेटमा दिएको भर्बलाई हामीले करेक्ट फर्ममा लेख्ने. I went to see the film but I didn't enjoy it. I met Rosina in the town a few days ago. Meet commit. It was very warm, so I took up my coat. फुकाले मैले. Though the bed was very comfortable, I didn't sleep very well. Didn't भएको कारण नेगेटिभ भएको कारणले गर्दा भर्ब बनाएको छ. He started a new job last week. She was too busy in the office yesterday. She Nita invited her to the party, but she didn't come. So okay, then about listening को हामी केही फिगरहरु यस्तो खालको पाउँछौं टेक्स्टमा. अनि यस्तो फिगर दिएको छ यो लुक एट द पिक्चर एन्ड आन्सर द क्वेशन्स व्हाट डु यु सी इन द पिक्चर पिक्चरमा के देखाउँछ यो बुद्धको थर्ड आइज हो देखाइरहेको छ थर्ड आइज अफ बुद्ध अथवा बुद्धिज्म What do you see in the forehead? Forehead मा एउटा टीका छ निधारमा एउटा टीका छ and what does it symbolize? यो फिगरले के सिम्बलाइज गर्छ बुद्धिस्ट रिगार्ड द थर्ड आई एज द आइज अफ कन्सियसनेस एउटा यो चेतनाको के हो त आइज हो रिप्रेजेन्टिङ द भेन्टेज पोइन्ट फ्रम द व्हिच इनलाइटेनमेन्ट यो पोइन्टले के गरेर देखाउँछ यो इनलाइटेनमेन्ट हो यस अथवा हामीले निर्माण प्राप्त गर्ने बियोन्ड वन्स फिजिकल साइट इज अचिभड देन होमवर्क एउटा दिएको छ narrate a memorable यो एउटा हाम्रो प्रोजेक्ट वर्क्समा होला narrate a memorable events of your life in a paragraph using past tense a memorable event I was studying in grade 6 a memorable event took place in my life it was the year 272 BS and I was in my class everything was going as per our daily school routine we had a huge school buildings lucky us we were on the ground floor we were studying math in our fourth period when the incident took place. Yes, an earthquake hit our school building. I was sitting on the first bench. Suddenly, I saw ceiling fans, tube lights, and front of me started to. Yes, and soon I started to move or started to sack. Yes, soon I found हल्लिन सुरु गरे MOBE I started to move and soon I found I was not only that the whole class studies everyone panicked sabai pidama bhaye just wanted to run towards the sport ground but we were in the school and we had to go out in a line make way for others first but the most interesting and memorable event took place when our math teacher himself ran out of the buildings before anyone math teacher आफै पनि भाग्नु भयो I remember chanting Hanuman Chalisa Gayatri mantra on my way out. Thanks to Pawanputra Hanuman and Gayatri Mantra that I along with everyone got saved and was also a special thanks to Sagarmatha Cement which didn't let the building collapse. It was one of the memorable events of my life which I ever experienced in my school life. So okay, this is about the chapter the Qin Dynasty from Unit S, History and Cultures. And regarding this chapter, if you have any queries, mention below in the comment sections. If you find this video helpful and interesting, like the videos, share it, subscribe it, and click on the bell icon to get notification from upcoming videos. Thank you for watching this. Goodbye. Have a good day.